Hey there guys, we're back for another beer review. This is another beer sent to me by the Albino Rhino. This is another one of the ones I think he intended for me to get to really quickly. This is, how do you say monkey in Latin? Dubbel IPA, and notice how double is spelled on there. And this is to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Canadian Brewing Awards. 6.8% alcohol by volume. I mentioned the spelling of the word there, and also you see the monkey is in monk's robes, which is kind of fitting actually, kind of ironic and funny. So how do you say monkey in Latin? Simianus, I believe, is the actual Latin term. But anyway, going back to my original point here, this is apparently a marriage of both an IPA, or double IPA, and a Belgian double. And this brew is a collaboration between Sawdust City Brewing, I don't know where they're out of, I can hardly read that, I had to look it up online and then I forgot the exact name. Something about Microbrasserie Chavarou or something along those lines. Some microbrewery from Quebec, obviously. And Black Oak Brewing from Ontario. I'm assuming Sawdust City is, maybe it's not in Ontario, maybe it's somewhere else. Maybe it's like, you know, 3 different regions from Canada coming together or something. But anyway, it was for the 2012 Canadian Brewing Awards, which was their 10th anniversary. And it says best after July 2012, which is kind of curious. What do they mean by best after? Don't they mean best before? I'm starting to think maybe this is one that's supposed to be cellared for a while, and then you're supposed to, you know, let the Belgian qualities come out a bit more. From what Albino Rhino tells me, the hops used in this one are the same ones used in the Black Oak 10 bitter years. Anyway, it says the ingredients: Cara aroma malt, Pilsner malt, wheat malt, Munich malt, Galaxy hops, Legacy hops, Nelson Sauvin hops, Trappist yeast, extra dark candy sugar, and sugar. So the last couple ingredients there are definite Belgian, typical Belgian ingredients. It says original gravity 16.4, IBU 60, FG and SRM, I have no idea what those refer to. And it says big thank you to our generous partners. One of them's Taps Magazine, and this was a collaboration, but it was brewed at Black Oak Brewing. And I'm definitely keeping that bottle. Isn't that cool? It's even sort of a slightly unique shape for the bottle too, right up top here. Looks really, really good. Alright, so we're gonna open it up and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back with how do you say monkey in Latin? Quite the name for a beer. Or maybe you just call it Simianus. Maybe that's the best way to call it. Looks like a very hazy, burnt orange kind of color. Yeah, very hazy. Definitely looks, and it's got sort of a, in between, almost a creamy and a foamy head. Sort of going back and forth there. It definitely looks sort of Belgian. Definitely. Very nice. It actually does sort of look like a little bit like a Belgian double. So we'll go right to the aroma, and you can look at the monkey monk. Definitely. I can definitely see where they were going for here. Definitely, it has those grapefruit kind of hop aroma, a little bit of pine. Lemon. The predominant notes are grapefruit and lemon, I'd say. And it's got a slight citrusy, overall just kind of a citrusy character to it. Seems a bit spicy in the back, but not quite. I don't think there's actually any spices employed here. Did I say rye malt there anywhere? Munich malt, wheat malt, no. Okay, so yeah, it's got a mustiness from the wheat malt, and it's got that citric quality. and it's got a sweetness to it too. Definitely get a little bit of that the candy sugar that they use. Definitely comes out in the nose. It smells very, very nice. It's like a very and it's also got a almost hints at like dark fruit. It's got a very Belgian style smell without the spiciness of a Belgian style beer. That's what I'm finding here. There's no overt spiciness. Very nice. Very, very nice. It smells fresh too. Like it smells cool and refreshing. Like I know that's kind of weird, but that's how it comes off. It just like kind of like breath minty, kind of fresh. I don't know. Let's get drinking it. You know, it's not overly complex. I'm not finding right off. Very much about the malt more than it is the hops. From what I gather, Belgian IPAs don't tend to be necessarily big hop bombs anyway. There's a nice subtle earthy bitterness at the end. Well, not overly subtle. It's not like a British bitter or something like that. It's definitely, I think I'd say there's enough bitterness there to classify it as an IPA. Up front is much more about the malts. You got a little bit of that candy sugar coming out. Bready, weedy, sweetness. A touch of that Belgian yeast is definitely coming through. But like I said before, in the aroma, it's like a Belgian, but it doesn't quite have the in-your-face qualities of a lot of Belgian beers. Like it's more like the ghost of a Belgian beer. Very drinkable. Very, very nice. Nice medium, sort of, you know, upper medium body to it. That dryness is really starting to build up with the bitterness. Very, very dry. Definitely, I can definitely see that it definitely uses the same hops that the previous beer I did, the Black Oak, 10 bitter years. The albino was right. They definitely use the same hops in this one. I'm getting that same drying effect in the back of my mouth, lingering on. Exactly the same, actually. Note perfect. That's a very good beer. I don't know necessarily if it needed to be a collaboration between 3 breweries. I think any one of those breweries could probably have pulled this off. It's very good, but overall it's kind of a letdown. It's not as special as the bottle sort of promised. I mean, it's a very, very nice beer, but I'm going into it and I'm kind of wondering where the spice is. I'm kind of wondering where the bigger citric notes are. I'm kind of wondering why that Belgian yeast isn't exactly wowing me. Like it's very subdued in those respects. I almost hate to say this, but it tastes like, hey, you want a beginner beer into sort of like Belgian styles, and try this one. But of course this is probably very limited. It's probably really hard to get. A little bit of the alcohol is also coming out. It's a very good beer, don't get me wrong, okay? It's very, very nice. It's just not quite what I expected, and I think it could be better. They have an opportunity to make a really nice hoppy version of like a Trappist double, and they kind of fall short. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5 on this one. I hate to do it too because it seemed like it was going to be pretty awesome, but it's still a good beer, and a big thanks to Albino Rhino for sending this to me. This bottle is definitely going in my collection. That's a keeper. That is really cool. Alright. So how do you say monkey in Latin? Dubbel IPA. That gets a solid 3.5 out of 5. I don't know if you can find it anywhere. If you can't, well, you're not missing a lot. But if you can find it, you know, pick it up, get it. You might like it better than me. Cheers, guys. We will see you later.